because in trading there's really there's nothing to fear, right? You can't die, somebody won't kill you in trading, right? You
Yeah.
just lose some money.
Hey, it's Walter here, and you're at the Think Profit podcast, where we're going to help you develop a rock solid trading confidence and avoid the potentially endless cycle of system switching. Right, Hugh?
That's right. We're going to help you develop a wealth mindset, develop a trading strategy that fits your core personality, and help you overcome the obstacles that stop over 90% of traders.
All right, Hugh, sounds good. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's do this.
Hey, Hugh. So we have a question here from a trader. He writes in and says, if there's one thing I wanted to change about my trading, it would be that I want to erase fear, which is a very interesting way of saying this. So my initial thoughts is that he may be referring to like the fear of loss, right? The fear of the unknown, the fear of loss, that sort of thing. So my thinking would be, there's a couple of different things. One would be to embrace the unknown, right? And because that's how you know you're alive, right? When you don't know what's going to happen, embrace the unknown and novelty. And then the other thing is that if you have a fear of losing, it suggests to me that you are unprepared. So in other words, if I've prepared and done all of my homework and I know that it looks like this strategy on this time frame on this market is going to yield these results, I should really that should reduce my fear to a lower, acceptable level, right? However, if I still have fear, that suggests to me that it's just the unknown, right? So I would be really fearful if I took 15 grand and I put it on black at the roulette table, right? And I would be fearful because I knew that I'd have a slightly more chance of losing, like 51% or whatever, of losing that money than of doubling that money, right? So that's warranted fear as I see it. However, if you've back tested and you've done your homework and you know kind of what to expect, assuming that the past market movements are going to hold true in the future, which of course is a big assumption. But then you shouldn't, you know what I mean? You should be fairly confident. You should be like the casino in that you know that there are going to be days and times and individuals that will win on you, but overall you'll win you'll win over time. So that would be my thoughts about that. Is that this sounds like a trader who's unprepared, but I'm just kind of reading between the lines.
Yeah, no, for sure. I totally agree. And I think fear in trading only really comes down to two things, right? Like you said, not being prepared, being like fear of the unknown, and fear of losing too much money, which means your risk is too high. Because in trading, there's really nothing to fear, right? You can't die, somebody won't kill you in trading, right? You just lose some money. So I think that if you are afraid, then it's one of those two things. Either you're not prepared or you're risking too much money on every trade, or risking money you can't afford to lose, basically, right?
Or your broker goes bust. It's not my fault, right? My broker went down. Yeah. That's a good one too. Yeah. But so I think we've kind of said, look, you're probably not prepared, or you're being too erratic, like you say, with your risk. I think one of the things that I think traders have to cope with or come to grips with is that you are getting paid to face your fears, right? Really. So like if I work at a library and I have this constant paycheck and I go into work and I know it's going to be the same thing, people come in with their I lost my library card. What do I do? Or, I can't find this book. It's kind of like you kind of know it's Groundhog Day, right? Whereas with trading, you get paid for taking on that risk. You get paid for embracing the unknown. That's literally what you get paid for, right? And so it's one of those things where it's like, and I guess a firefighter would sort of be that too. Like a firefighter doesn't really know when they go into that house, is there a gas, is there a gas line in there that's going to blow me up or something? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I guess they have some of that too. There's different jobs that would, but what's cool about trading is, you've raised your hand and said, I will take on this risk. I will embrace this unknown, and that's okay, because I know that eventually it's gonna, over the long run, it's gonna pay out for me. So it's a lot different to the standard jobs where you kind of have a safe paycheck. So in that way, I guess it's something that you should recognize in going into it, right?
Mhm.
Rather than getting into it and going, oh no, I didn't know it was going to be like this. Like this is the thing that you signed up for, right?
Yeah. And you bring up a good point too. I think that could be a fear in itself, right? Like not succeeding at trading and having to go back to this job where you're doing the same thing every day. So
Yeah.
maybe you want to look into that also.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Walter.
All information in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not trading or investment advice.